The next one is cultural and religious beliefs. The scenario goes, a young patient's parents belong to a religious group that rejects modern medical interventions. The child has a treatable condition, but the parents insist on using only prayer and faith-based remedies. The medical team believes the child's life could be saved with medical intervention. How can the nurse navigate this ethically challenging situation that involves potentially life-saving medication and treatment, and respecting the parents' religious beliefs? So this one is super tricky. If he's 18 or above, I would say have the kid help make the decision, but this says child, right? So I'm guessing they're under the age of 18. This is actually interesting because I remember having a scenario just like this one, but I'm trying to remember how it resulted, what the outcome was, because we had a situation where there was a patient, but they had to be above the age of 18 if I had them. So maybe not this exact example, but we had a scenario where the patient and a family had a specific religious belief where they couldn't do certain things. It wasn't the Jehovah's Witness stuff. It was something else where they weren't allowed to do something or move something from one place to another. I'm not sure what the exact details were, but there was this issue where the patient was debating on whether having this, and the family was pretty adamant about not doing this no matter what the result was. But they were still thinking about just going with the whatever treatment he had to do, because when it comes to having your child face potential death, your views start to change a little bit, even when it comes to religion, meaning that religion, lots of times, is all good when things are good in a sense, but when you're faced with a dilemma like that, where it's like, okay, my son is going through this, and if we don't go against our religious beliefs, then he's going to die. But if we do stay with our religious beliefs, technically we're acting in sin or against God in a sense. So I want to say what happened with that situation was the family did consent to the treatment. So did the patient, after a long discussion. They had to talk to their, I'm not sure if it was a priest or whoever the higher person was that was closer to God. I'm not sure if it was a priest, a pastor, whatever, a rabbi. I'm not sure what religion they were, but they had a discussion with them, and they ended up going with the surgery, and the patient was fine. Hopefully he's doing well now. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, when it comes to life and death, and when you're older and you're an adult, I want to say probably maybe 70s, 80s, it's a little bit easier for you to cope with death, and it's a little bit easier to make the decision of, okay, I'm religious, I'm 7 years old, I live my life, I'm not going to do surgery. It goes against my religious beliefs, so on and so forth. I lived a good life, I'm okay with not doing the surgery. Versus when it's your son, when it's your daughter, they're younger, 20s, 30s, 40s, you understand what you did when you were that young, when you're that age. So it's a lot harder for you to tell your son, no, you can't have this because it's against our religion, because you understand how much more life they have to live. So lots of times when it comes to life or death and medical decisions, lots of times the medical decisions that are going to prolong the life usually outweigh the religious beliefs. I know that sometimes I know one time we had a Jehovah's Witness that also had sickle cell, and we were recommending blood transfusions, but they didn't want to do it. They said to stick it out, and they did stick it out. The patient, again, you have blood transfusion. In that situation, I understand. You're going to go through a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, but you're mostly going to survive that sickle cell. You could say, I don't want to say outbreak, but that sickle cell coming into basically like your body. You're going through the whole sickle cell process, right? So that's a little bit understandable. But when it comes to life or death, like if you don't do this, you're gonna die, people are more likely to flip a little bit and go ahead with the surgery or with the treatment.